Hey there everyone, let's take a look at the EVA-8 shotgun in pilot versus pilot combat, how best to use it, and how to be as effective as possible with it. Let's get started. The shotgun fires 8 pellets per trigger pull, dealing a maximum of 33.125 damage per pellet, with a minimum damage of 3.5 damage per pellet. The drop-off starts at 5.14 meters and ends at 16.19 meters. Your headshot multiplier is 1 times, meaning that there is no bonus for getting headshots. Doesn't matter if you shoot them in the head or the foot, you're doing the exact same damage no matter what. So it's really hard to put a concrete number of shots to kill on this weapon. You're obviously left to chance with it, since you have 8 pellets that are shooting in random directions within your cone of fire. So you could have only 1 connect with an enemy, or you could have all 8 of them connect with an enemy. It's really hard to say. It's kind of a crapshoot. So a lot of times you will be getting 1-shot kills out to pretty crazy ranges, and sometimes you're going to be getting 2 or 3-shot kills at like what feels like point blank, and it just does not make sense why you're not killing them faster. So that's just kind of the nature of the shotgun though, so you kind of have to take the good and the bad with it. So while this weapon does have the lowest fire rate of any pilot weapon, that isn't necessarily to say that it's bad because of it. The great thing about having a low fire rate is that you don't have to be tracking your enemies perfectly at all times. Your sights only need to be centered on an enemy when you're ready to pull the trigger. Otherwise, you can be looking in other directions, keeping your situational awareness as high as possible, focusing on your movement and on your repositioning, and only really centering your sights on an opponent when you're ready to fire. So obviously your biggest blessing with the shotgun comes from the 1-shot kill potential, as well as your 2-shot kill potential. Your 1-shot gives you essentially a null time to kill, you're dividing by 0, it's undefined, there's no actual time involved, it's just, you pull your trigger and they're dead. 2-shot kill is actually still extremely fast in this game. It's faster than an enemy player is going to be able to realize, oh hey, I just took a shot from a shotgun, let me turn around and fire back and take this guy out. It's just simply not possible. A 2-shot kill is going to kill them before they can react. When you get into 3 shots, and especially into 4 shots, is where the shotgun really starts to kind of fall off due to its range or your poor aim. Now this leads us into our next point, which is that the range on the shotgun, while excellent, it's still not infinite. There's still going to be a point where your shotgun stops being effective, and you need to take advantage of other weapons in order to actually really be able to compete at longer ranges. So with this in mind, let's get started with the class recommendations. For pretty much any loadout with the shotgun whatsoever, I'm going to recommend that you use a Wingman and a charge rifle. The charge rifle, if you've played Halo, is basically a Spartan laser. It lets you charge up and then fire for a 1-shot kill anywhere in an enemy's body at any range. There's no travel time, it's hit scan, so it's a completely viable sniper rifle essentially. You can use it at long ranges to take care of enemies that are a little bit more careless and that are actually letting themselves be hit by it. Let's just say it also makes an excellent weapon for getting gooser kills. You may be seeing a little bit more of that at a later date, so stay tuned for that. The Wingman, well, you can get a headshot with that guy at any range, and it's a 1-shot kill. So it's an excellent long-range weapon if you feel really confident with your aim with it. I, however, am kind of a weenie, so I just stick with the RE45 auto pistol. It works great, if I happen to get 1 shot off on an opponent with the shotgun from near the end of its effective range. Then I'm still dealing, a fair amount of damage, like 30, 40, maybe even 50 damage if I'm lucky. So my shots to kill with the RE45 auto pistol is usually going to fall to around 4 from its usual, I think it's 6. And if I get a headshot, then that's even going to drop even more. So I like the auto pistol. It has really strong range out to 20 meters is when its damage starts to drop off. I think it does 39 at the maximum if memory serves correctly. So it's an excellent alternative choice, and the Hammond, if you prefer the Hammond to the auto pistol, then by all means go for it. I like the auto pistol. It works great for me, but the Wingman is an excellent choice too, because you kind of have a 1-2 punch potential. You can get 1 shot off with your shotgun and then switch to your Wingman and get another 1 shot to finish him off, or you can just use your Wingman at longer ranges, go for 2 shots, whatever's more feasible given your current situation. But I definitely recommend the Wingman if you're comfortable with it. If not, auto pistol is a very competent alternative. So we're actually going to be going over 3 different loadouts in this video. All kind of have different themes and are meant for different applications. And a bit of a forewarning, all of my clips coming after here are still going to be all focusing on just the one single first class that I'm going to talk about. The other two are still equally as viable, but the clips just didn't come out very exciting. The first one is going to be my tried and true favorite. I think this is probably going to be the absolute best loadout for, say, competitive play. Where you're playing against the absolute highest caliber of enemy teams, and say objective game types like capture the flag. So my absolute favorite 100% most recommended loadout for the shotgun is shotgun with extended mags. Then we're going to go with Stim and power cell, satchel charges, and for our second kit, it really depends on the game type. We could go with Minion Detector, we could go with Dead Man's Trigger, I usually do that one, or you could go with Guardianship if you don't want to pilot your Titan whatsoever, but you do want it to be competent in defense. As for the second loadout, is going to be more of a hybrid offensive and defensive sort of role. So we're going to be using Leadwall and active radar pulse in order to look through walls, figure out where enemy pilots are, and then deal with them in utmost quickness. We're going to be using arc mines, so once we attack that point and clear it out, we can help to defend it with those arc mines. Explosives pack will allow us to hold an extra third arc mine, and then we're going to use Guardianship for our last kit in order to call our Titan on top of the point or next to the point and help us to defend it even further. And for our final loadout, we're going to be looking at kind of a more stealthy pilot hunting sort of role. So we're going to be looking specifically for pilots. We're going to try and predict their movements and outmaneuver them and just kill them with good positioning as opposed to just being able to overwhelm them with something like Stim and power cell and and Leadwall. So what we're going to be doing with this class is we're going to have Minion Detector on. Minion Detector is going to allow us to see where enemy minions are spawning, and enemy pilots generally tend to spawn near those minions. So if you ever see a big conglomeration of minions somewhere, then you can bet your butt that there's going to be a bunch of pilots over there. So we're going to have arc grenades. Since we can see those minions, we can throw arc grenades into those big piles of minions and hopefully get hit markers on pilots, damage them, cause them to go blind, and then we can rush in with our silenced shotgun to finish them off. Anyways, that's all that I have to share with the shotgun for today. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned something new. Please like and share if you're so inclined. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.